We'll hook this up, put the ECU in it, and we'll see if it'll start. It's not gonna start, but we'll turn it over.
What's up, day 4? And today is hopefully the day we put the K-Series physically in the Integra. That's the goal.
Yep.
But before we put it in there, this morning we walk in here and I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's put it in there. And he's like, no. Like, we gotta do a hair more things before.
Yeah.
So once again, it's not always what it seems, right? It looks like it's ready. We have the harness inside the firewall, all that's ready to go. But you gotta make the motor work. And the easiest way to make it work is to do everything you need to hook up to the motor before you put it in.
Fuel pressure regulator, you have to have one of these. We've got the gauge, we didn't put it on the fuel rail, we'll put it on the regulator. Fuel line kit, so to the fuel rail, to the fuel filter, and then from the regulator back to the return line. Version clutch line, this is gonna go straight from the slave cylinder to the master cylinder.
Okay.
On your firewall.
Just like that, let's get started.
Cool.
Clutch line is very straightforward. Goes in right here.
Yep, banjo, put your washers on the bottom, one on the top, and we'll finger tighten. We don't have to tighten it all the way just yet, because obviously there's no pressure, there's no need. We just wanted to get it in there, make it easy on us. Drape it over the side. So this is the fuel pressure regulator. Obviously, we'll put the gauge on last. So we've got 4 ports on the fuel pressure regulator. This is gonna be the return. So this is gonna be back to the fuel tank. Thread in the provided fitting. This is a -6 O-ring fitting to a -4 AN. We are running a standard K-swap fuel line kit, so we will not be using both ports. So we're gonna cap this one. Again, this is the same cap that we use on the fuel rail. It's a -8 O-ring fitting. And then here we have an 8 O-ring fitting to a -6. Set it down, set it down, set it down. Yep,
That's good.
okay, here. Now we can just we can reposition it.
There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the good stuff. Oh yeah. All right, so we've all moved the K-Series onto a tire. Now we're gonna go from the bottom instead of trying to hoist this thing and scratch up everything. So we're just gonna go from the bottom and literally lay it into the mount. It's the smarter way to do it if you have a lift. Also, what's kind of cool is the studs, you can use it almost like how they do in the assembly line and just go right into the body. It's very cool. I feel like it's like the episode of SpongeBob when it's like the Krabby Patty secret mode.
Lower the jack down. Jack up on the transmission and pull. Stop. All right, hold on. Keep going. All right, stop.
Bring this one a hair forward if you're there.
Just come down and stop, stop. Okay. So this is on.
It's all done.
Pretty much, yeah. Just
all right.
Push it out now.
All right, I'll drive home now. Open header. Always forget how much trans there is.
Yeah,
you know, it's like motor trans.
Yeah.
Nice job, guys.
Thanks, dude.
That was good.
Nice.
They saved the day for our hardware too upstairs.
Oh yeah, always got to start. That was, yeah, definitely.
So if you see where the OEM stud, we just literally pushed it through just like how they do in the assembly line, which is really cool. Okay. So yeah, they go down the assembly line, they take the motor and they just push it into the car.
Yeah. Stop. All right, it's in. It's in that loose.
Woo! Okay, motor is inside the freaking car. Yes, sense of relief. It is mounted. The rear mount, I'd say, is the most difficult. What would you say?
Yeah, it's the last one. It's the hardest to line up.
Hardest to line up, and we just lifted the car up, got under it, and then kind of finagled it in place.
Yep.
Took a pry bar, some stuff like that. This is the more satisfying part, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because seeing it in here is just cool in itself. And God, there's so much room right here. I always forget in a K-swap car. And then after that, this goes basically on the back of the motor.
That's it.
Comes down, goes under, and we actually had to take a little kind of sway bar thing off. What was it
No,
again?
that's a.
It wasn't a sway bar.
It's a subframe brace.
Subframe brace, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks just like a sway bar,
Yeah.
but subframe brace is in the way of this. Okay, there's one. Okay, hold it right there.
I'm gonna hold it.
gasket. Don't forget to put these on or you'll have a bad day. I'm kind of in a tight spot right now to show you this, but here we have the PLM stainless steel K-swap header. This works in the Integra, the EG, and the EK. So whatever K-swap you're doing in a traditional Honda, you'll be good to go with this PLM header. It fit actually literally perfect. It's awesome. And it goes right up as you saw how we installed it. It's very simple and straightforward. Make sure to use the gasket, put it on, then put it on the stud, and then you're good to go, lined up. So let's move on. So traditionally, as you can imagine, with the K-swap, the B-series axles, they're not gonna work. But if you're doing all motor like I am, you can literally just take a base model RSX axle. It's exactly the same. And if you wanna upgrade your axles later, you can, but if you're just trying to get the motor in the car, base model RSX, you can get these pretty much anywhere. All right, harness is plugged in, all that's buttoned up, doing all that good stuff. Now we just need to mess with the charge harness a little bit. All the fuel stuff is done, the injectors are connected. We're so close to being able to start it.
All right, so now in order to get the engine power, we've got to connect the starter and the alternator to the fuse box. So this is the Rye-Wire charge harness, kind of charge wires that they sent us. They're a bit long because they're designed to go inside the car, but since we have the stock fuse box in the factory spot, we're gonna cut them and put some new ends on them. Essentially, this is the starter lead and the alternator lead. This is a direct 12-volt source to the starter, and this is the alternator power that goes from the alternator back to the fuse box so it can charge the battery. So positive terminal, this would normally go to the B-series starter, so we've got to remove this leg. ABS fuse box has a direct 12-volt power source as well, so probably not going to mess with this a whole lot. If anything, I'll run another 12-volt source to here so we get it straight to the starter. You have the alternator and the starter, so the starter goes direct from the 12-volt positive on the battery to this. You'll T in that, and then the alternator leads directly to this. That way you've got the circuit separated, and if for whatever reason the alternator spikes, you're not gonna melt everything if you connect those together. So this is the right way to do it.
Motor's now in. Now we just did the charge harness for the battery.
Yes.
Button that all up. Now what's next?
Conversion harness. This goes to your ECU. This goes to the engine harness. This is the data link port, so you'll do your OBD2 scanner
stuff,
in there. Yep. Your wideband O2 sensor relay. These are your O2 sensors, secondary and primary. This part goes all the way to your dashboard on the driver's side.
Cool.
So this makes the gauges and stuff work. This will supply power. We'll hook this up, put the ECU in it, and we'll see if it'll start. It's not gonna start, but we'll turn it over. Ready?
Yep. After the motor bumped over, there was still a lot to be done. Cody from Hybrid Racing got to work quickly on the Hybrid Racing shifter. The shifter itself, which is designed and assembled in-house and along with the protective tray. The K-swap, the header, the shifter, everything came together beautifully. Here is our Hybrid Racing shifter. It's freaking awesome. It's very mechanically satisfying. Basically, it's like having your own exposed shifter. It's freaking awesome, and it's a ton of fun to kind of play around and test with. Today was awesome. We put the motor in the car. It went from a B series to a K series, but then it wouldn't start. And why wouldn't it start, you say? Because of this. This is some ancient security box that was underneath the dash. We cut this whole thing out, and then we figured out that part of the clutch switch wasn't working either. So then we bumped it and it finally turned over, which is amazing. It idled pretty well. Of course, some fluids got all over the place, but we were so antsy to start the car that we were excited. and a huge weight is lifted out of our shoulders. Now tomorrow, we're gonna be doing the shifter and a whole bunch of other stuff to button up the car as a whole, and then at the end, we can drive it. So it's gonna be awesome. Make sure that you check out everything they make for the K-Swap. If you wanna K-Swap your car, they literally have everything you need. So make sure to check it out in the description below, and have a good day. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and have a good one. Goodbye.